Hey everybody, Majin here, back with episode 2 of the Raid Progress series. Second time attempt at recording this. I didn't realize my microphone was muted during the previous time, so I'll do a quick recap. We went over, finished up most of our dailies, just have the one use a little bit of energy, which we'll do later, no rush. Did some arena. We talked about some gear changes we made. We swapped this piece off of Inquisitor Shemale, put it on our Thor to get a little bit extra crit damage for Hydra, and we got also a little bit extra attack out of it. These are pretty much his stats. Not enough to change. For Foley, I think we swapped his helmet and gloves to get a bit more speed because we were having a lot of issues with getting Terminator cut. He's still a bit short on speed, so once we get some more 6-star glyphs going, maybe pop them on him to get him a bit faster, so we have no more issues with getting the Terminator cut. Mainly for Tag Arena, for normal arena, I run Arbiter into Lysandra, but for Tag Arena, I use Lysandra for a secondary speed team. So I'll usually have to run Arbiter plus Apothecary, Deacon, or Cythalia, or Golden Reaper. Once I get her up and running, that'll probably be who I run over using Apothecary, because she has a 20% turn meter boost along with the 30% increased speed. Plus she also has a chance to decrease allies' skills, which is pretty nice. I also rebuilt Artak in an attempt to try to progress to Curse City, or technically beat the boss in Curse City hard. It did not go very well. However, I decided to keep the build in exchange for the previous build that didn't have him in a region set. So hopefully over time we'll be able to prove this farther. I'll show you the team you use in Curse City. Or try to beat Amius. I think the problem with this current team is the lack of awakening levels to help suppress some of the damage he does with his skills. It was a manual run. We got him down like 30% before our team just started to get wrecked because we could no longer keep up with healing everybody and keeping everybody alive. So it'll definitely take a bit more work and brainstorming to get this done. I don't know if we'll be able to get it in time for this rotation. 2 weeks left, maybe. For Hydra, we did do one Hydra key the other day because we needed to use Hydra key for an advanced mission. This is my normal team right here. Previously, before the Hydra changes, this team would do over 100 mil on auto, but we fell short and I didn't have the time to keep retrying the runs for a better key with this team. And the issue I noticed happening a lot with this team is that we would get like heads down one by one usually, but they would end up reviving into having Serpent's Will, and then the team would take a lot of damage, with the only reviver being Rector Draft not being able to keep up with that. Or the Fearhead would spawn, and then we'd lose turns, especially when those Sphere procs would sometimes end up on Rector Draft due to the targeting. She would target the Fearhead and get feared and lose out on putting up her Perfect Veil. For Arena, we did hop over in Tag Arena before reset to try to make a push for Silver 4. Unfortunately, we fell short. This log, I was pretty frustrated trying to figure out how to beat this team. This team wasn't why I was lost. I was already short on points, but I wanted to use like some tokens before they expired, so I pretty much just kept going into this team, get the free win at the end, because at that point the points I had didn't matter since it was going to get reset anyways, and I made sure I wasn't low enough. We did start doing live arena a little bit. We had maybe one or two close fights due to I had one team I went up against that had full stone skin, but we got incredibly lucky that we managed to strip the all the stone skin with Sun Wukong, which my Sun Wukong only has a little under 300 accuracy. So the fact that we managed to do that was pretty nice. And then another one was actually against his Sun Wukong, who survived with a slither of HP, and he almost wiped my entire team. It's very interesting. Marina, usual grind. Gonna save doing more, using more of our tokens for when CBC starts. Doom Tower. I was showcase my team. Yeah, I can do another run. Basically, keep it short. She revives, has a chance to stun or stun with A2 or A1. Can put down a speed debuff if Posilar doesn't land one, or if she's on cooldown. Mashald, he CCs and does damage. He's in full perception gear. Hope to maybe prove it with some damage sets or some other sets in the future. But for now, he's in perception gear to make sure he has enough stats to stay alive and still place up the debuffs I need him to and contribute some damage. He has the Reaper Blessing or Soul Reaper Blessing as well. Kentra, she is in a Frostbite Frost set. The way her passive works is every five, if an enemy has 5 or more debuffs, she has a chance to provoke them on her turn. And they obviously they provoke, they attack her, and they sometimes have a chance to get frozen. There are some waves, however, where I have to remove or break the frost sets because they have Dark Elhanes that would cleanse the debuff and get an attack off on my team. I think there's another champion as well. I think was it a Christmas Fusion champion? I'm not sure. Maybe I think there's like a one rotation where there's like a Pixnial wave or is it Glaciad in the wave that cleanses the frost debuffs, which is something we also have to avoid with her having frost sets on or frost and frostbite set on. Bad L, he's I have two Bad L builds. One I have in Reflex. I think this is just my normal one in speed sets with one perception set, I believe. He just has decent amount of resist and accuracy with survivability and speed. Just to provide some heals for the team and cleanse while also putting poisons on the enemy, which because they are Doom Tower champions and they're scaled up, they have pretty high HP and take a lot of damage from poisons. But Sylar, explained earlier, her A1 and A2 is AoE. She's in a stun set. She's sometimes stunned while also placing down debuffs we need to ensure the enemy either doesn't take a turn, or even if they do take a turn, they're not very effective because they have decreased accuracy. Which usually a lot of these waves have champions that will place debuffs on you, which will more than likely kill your team with time if you don't have anything to counter on them. That's over. Also, one thing I haven't covered is I also have a Void only account that I'm currently playing on part-time. Or I shouldn't say part-time, full-time technically, because I do my dailies on that account as well as this account. If that's something people would be interested in seeing some progress on as well, I can maybe do a separate video on that, or maybe include it in this one and do like a double. I talk about stuff on that I've done on my main account as well as stuff that's going on the Void account. At the moment, however, it's pretty much just do dailies, make sure get the clan boss keys in, and make sure they're deciding like which tournaments or events we want to do on and spend our resources on. That's what's going on there. I did if you notice like some differences between the resources I had from the last video and this video, I did spend a little bit of resources on securing the avatar in frame here in this Heroes Path event. Got some of the other goodies along the way. Some of them gems actually, or I should say most of those, or most if not all of those gems were pretty much, I redid Artex masteries because he has like some old masteries that I had in him for something else, as well as he had a shield blessing because I didn't have him in a region set at the time. Gear, I just didn't have the gear, the spear for Artac, which honestly I'm still not very pleased with this build. I like to have him more resistance. Fortunately, it just won't be possible right now. Hopefully in the future we're able to work around that. That is everything I wanted to cover today. Actually, I don't think I had to show this in the last video. My Iron Twins team. It's a simple block damage team. As explained previously, Gnut is my main damage dealer. It works on every affinity. The Pain Keepers go in a certain order to ensure that they have their cooldowns at the right time and the boss never hits us. We also turned off his A2 so he doesn't place up any debuffs, or excuse me, he doesn't place up any buffs which would throw off the tune. Currently, he's Gnut's not fully booked. I put some books in him hoping to get lucky to get the cooldown decrease, since I wanted to get him into some of my dungeon teams, and I wanted it to be a bit more reliable with his cooldowns, but it seems to work fine regardless. Currently he's in a reflex set build and 217 speed in this team. So I guess the only time I would make any changes probably to Gnut's build is if I get a second one, because then at that point I would be able to bring both of those into dungeon teams, and I would probably want him at a faster speed since his damage will be capped to a certain amount regardless at higher stages of dungeons. But usually his team takes around a minute to 2 minutes. The higher average time is usually on Magic Affinity, of course, because Nut can weak hit, as long as Helicath can weak hit when placing a Smite debuff, which helps in terms of damage. I have 2 of these PKs in a Toxic set. This one, or actually no, I had a level, I used to have a level 60 Painkeeper in this team, but I took her out because I wanted to put her in a stun set for Doom Tower stages eventually, and as well as Curse City stages. That was another change I happened to make when I had the free time. So yeah, you do the Russell runs once we get a bit more energy. Go do that. Still 5 hours on the CVC. Make a video once that starts going. We also do some tag arena fights. And maybe live arena if we have the time. But yeah, after this, I'll finish up these gold keys and go hop into Curse City. In Curse City, we're pretty much now our main focus is just finishing as much normal stages as we can. We should have no issues taking down the normal one, I would think. I usually don't have trouble. It's just finding the right combination of one to 3 champions that I can toss in here, and usually good. It's hard difficulty that I struggle to find a team for currently. But yep, that's why I'll wrap it up here. I'll come back maybe with a video for CBC, doing some arena fights is the plan. I'll go over like our matchup. It shouldn't be like a crazy matchup considering I wasn't very active last CBC, but we'll see. Hopefully we can get, come in and get some easy rewards. maybe move up a tier for the next person to CVC. Alrighty. I'm out of here. Take care. Have a good one.